Hi folks, we're in the workshop today, and as the title of the video suggests, today is all about something which is really quite dull and boring and not very exciting, but it's quite important, and it all lies in this box behind me, so stick around and I'll explain all. Now, earlier in the year, Joe asked me, what could you buy me for my birthday for the workshop? Which, I mean, that sounds almost unbelievable, the sort of thing I would dream about, but the caveat was that it was, what can I buy you to keep you healthy and safe in the workshop, which is very honourable, and I love her very much for that. But I didn't need anything else ear protection wise. She did buy me my isotunes last Christmas, which are great. I've already got my respirator and all the other some of small bits and bobs, but what I hadn't got is anything to deal with the air filtration in the shop, and that's what we got today. So finally I picked up an air filter, and it is exactly that. It's just a way of filtering out the really fine stuff, which, as good as your dust extraction might be, or your chip collector or your shop vac or whatever you're using, small nasty stuff still gets in the air, and hopefully this is going to deal with it. It's going to be hung up on the ceiling. It's not going to get in the way of tools down here, and that's key in a small workshop. So in the long run, this is going to end up in our new workshop, but as that's not built yet, I'm still going to install it here in the temporary setup we've got. Now, this is the garage conversion. It's going to be an office, a home office slash studio, but I'm still going to punch a couple of holes in the ceiling and hang it up from the rafters because, you know, for the sake of filling a couple of holes, we should be okay. Do we want to read the instructions? I'm sure we will. I had a play around with one of these in the shop down in Yandles earlier today, and it looked self-explanatory. The nice thing is it's on a remote control, so I can stick it right up on this 3-meter ceiling, and it's also got a method of, that is just the chains and the remote actually, so I'll leave them safe. It's also got a way of just overrunning or on a kind of timed sleep mode, I guess, like on a TV or something. So I can leave the workshop, turn the lights off, and this will just keep running for an hour or whatever the presets are, I don't know. But that means that all that stuff that's still in the air, one, it's going to be in the filter, hopefully, and not still in here when people come in and out. But two, it's not just going to land everywhere and just cover that film of dust that you get. And of course, if you have a film of dust everywhere, the next time you fire something up, it all ends up in the air again. You know me, not the sort of unboxing type of guy, but if you want the facts and figures, here they are. Maximum airflow, 409 cubic feet per minute, maybe, CFM. 5 micron in the outer filter, down to 1 micron in the inner filter, and it's an 1/8 of a horsepower motor. God, I said it was going to be boring, didn't I? Now, I've got Dad coming over tomorrow, so between us we can hang it up. But I'm going to turn it on anyway, see what the noise level's like, because hopefully I'm going to be able to leave it running in the background whilst filming. I assume there's a filter already installed in there. Stupid question. There it is. Seems to be a clip, top and bottom. Okay, so that's the inner and outer filters. So are they snugged in there? Now I feel like I should have read the instructions. Oh, there we go. So there's like a gauze in there and the motor. That must be the inner. So that's a 1 micron filter. That way. Okay. It's pretty quiet. That's on the low one. Now it will be up out of the way. As far as power appliances go, that's pretty quiet, and it's going to be up out the way. Really all you're hearing is air movement rather than the motor. Alright, let's just tear a sheet out of the French manual. Give an idea of... Yeah, so that's on the low. I mean, all these things are really hard to tell when you just got your hand there, but it's clearly pulling in there. And then if we bump it up to high, I guess it's just a high volume, sort of low pressure job. And then it's just swallowing up the air. Cool. And it kind of acts as a fan as well. Well, the remote works. So turns on. It's on low now. It's on medium. Up on high. Let's put it back on low. Time 1 hour. It's just going to run for 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours. Off. Simple. Okay, we are the next day now. Slight change of plan. I'm working solo today. I thought Dad was going to be here, but I think I should manage on my own to get this thing hung up on the ceiling. Having a look at the fixings that's supplied, you do get these like oversized mug hooks, which ordinarily you could screw straight into a beam, but remember we've got plasterboard, 50mm of insulation before our beams, so I'm going to need to do something a little bit different. Now what I do have is some 75mm screw-in eyes. They're okay, but I still think we're only about maybe 20mm max into the timbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 kind of battens out of scrap timber, and we'll screw in the kit into those, and then I'll fix those up through into the joist with some big old landscaping screws. Why can't you ever find scrap wood when you need it? Should be alright. I'm going to use these screws here. They're like the landscaping screws with the Torx head. These ones are a bit beefy. They're the sort that I use when I'm doing the raised beds and the sleepers. Right, next up we need to find our joists. So let's go and fetch a fridge magnet. Right, the unit itself is 500 long, but our joists are at 400 centers. So if we do 800, then we can bring the chains down on an angle. There we go. Yeah. Haha. Trouble is, if you're just the slightest bit off, bearing in mind these are 120, 150mm long, slightest angle off and you're gonna miss it. You know when you have one of those jobs, you think, I'll do that before I start the actual jobs. Unbelievable. After endless fiddling and leveling out, it's as good as it's going to be. These chains shouldn't really be quite at that angle, but like I say, temporary measure, but it's up, it's ready, it's quiet, and hopefully we can get to work now, and that's going to keep the dust levels down. Now, one reason which really spurred me on for this is that I've got to do all this panel cutting for the cabinets, and I've got some ply, I've got moisture resistant MDF, none of that stuff. Well, no dust is good dust, but I definitely want to be belts and braces, have this in the background just whirring away, and and then have proper filters on the actual vacuums as well. Anyway, let me know what you think, or if there are any other alternatives out there. Of course, an open window helps to some extent, but being that we're just about to hit winter and I've got lots planned for in the workshop, it'll be nice to just have a way of keeping the dust levels down. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.